Hey guys, Mr. Burns here with your video for lesson 10T, three-dimensional figures. I've talked to you about three-dimensional figures already and given you that introduction and what makes three-dimensional figures three-dimensional. I've also talked to you about what the difference is between sides and faces and bases are. I've also talked to you about what edges are and what vertices are. So in this worksheet we're going to talk about, or in this video we're going to talk about naming your three-dimensional figures. So for your instructions for numbers 1 through 6 are to use the table of names at the right to name each solid. So number 1, you'll notice that the bases, okay, so there's one base and there's another base, okay, those two bases are rectangular, okay, so that's its first name, rectangular. And then you'll notice that all of the faces are also rectangular. So again, here's a face, here's another face, okay, here's another face, and the face in the back. Okay, so those are also rectangular. So this is a rectangular prism. Why is it a prism? It's a prism because all of its faces, okay, are rectangular and its bases are rectangular as well. So this is an example of a rectangular prism. Okay, we're done with that one. On number 2, you'll notice, let's look at the base first. So if you look at the base of this shape, you'll notice that it is a square. How do you know it's a square? Because it tells you that both of those sides are the same measurement, so 4 centimeters. So this would be a square. Okay, that's its last name, or I'm sorry, its first name, which describes its base. And then you look at its sides, and all of its lateral faces, okay, are in the shape of a triangle. So what shape is this? This is a square pyramid, because pyramids have triangular faces. So on number 3, let's take a look at that one. On number 3, look at the base. You'll notice that the base has 5 sides. What shape has 5 sides? A pentagon. So this would be a pentagonal. And if you look at the faces, you'll notice that they are all triangular. So this would be a pentagonal pyramid. Let's go ahead and cross those out. So we've got square pyramid, we're done with that. Pentagonal pyramid, we're done with that. Number 4. On number 4, let's look at the two faces that are different. Okay, so this face, okay, is a hexagon. And let's look at the parallel and congruent face to that one. You'll notice that it is also a hexagon. So those are the bases. So what shape are they? They are hexagons. So this is a hexagonal, and all of its sides are rectangular. So this is a prism. So it's a hexagonal prism. Number 5, you'll notice that it has an oval, semi-oval base there. If you were actually to tilt this thing and look at it from the top, you'll note that it would actually be a circle. Okay, and you'll notice that the sides of this circle, this shape, okay, meet at an apex or a vertex there at the top. An apex is a special kind of vertex on either pyramids or cones. Oh, hey, guess what number 5 is? You're right, it's a cone. Okay, so this is a cone. Why is it a cone? Because it's got a circular base, okay, and a curved surface, okay, a curved surface that meets at a common point or a common apex. So this is a cone. And number 6, that is definitely a cylinder. Why is it a cylinder? Because both of its bases are circular, okay, and it's got a curved surface on the around the two circular bases. So this would be a cylinder. Okay. All right, let's look at the rest of the period. Let's look at the rest of the page. On number 7, it says identify 3 objects that are spheres. Remember, a sphere is just a 3-dimensional circle. So what would be an example of a sphere? An example of a sphere would be a basketball. Okay, basketball. Another example of a sphere would actually be something like a globe. Okay, so like a globe from social studies class. And another example of a sphere would be a, I don't know, a baseball. Okay, so that would be a sphere as well. Okay, on number 8 and 9, your instructions are to identify the number of lateral faces, bases, edges, and vertices. Remember that the bases are parallel and congruent to each other, and the lateral faces are those faces that connect the two parallel bases. So here we go. So number 8, how many lateral faces do I have? Well, here's one lateral face. Okay, that's one lateral face. Get rid of that. So that's one. Here's another lateral face. Happens to be the bottom. Okay, so 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there are 4 lateral faces to this shape. Now the bases, let me put that in blue. Here are the bases. The bases are parallel and congruent to each other. So this has 2 bases. Okay. The edges, erase that. The edges are the long straight lines that connect at a vertex. Let me put this in, let me choose purple. So for the edges, okay, the edges are straight. So there's 1 edge, 2 edge, 3 edges, 4 edges, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there are 12 edges, okay, for this solid. And the vertices, remember the vertices are created when you have 2 edges that meet. So they're the pointy parts. So one way to think of it is edges cut and vertices poke. Okay, so edges cut and vertices poke. So there's one vertex. I'll put this in green. So there's 1 vertex, 2 vertex, 3 vertex, 4 vertex, 5 vertex, 6 vertex, 7 vertex, 8 vertex. So there's 8 vertices in this shape. Okay, so 8. Cool. Okay, let's look at number 8. On number 8, you have a square or rectangular pyramid. So how many lateral faces are there? In a pyramid, the lateral faces are triangular. So let's check this out. Let's put those in green. So we've got 1, 2, 3, okay, and 4. So there are 4 lateral faces. Okay, 4 lateral faces. For the base, okay, in a pyramid, pyramids only have 1 base. Okay, so that's pretty easy. In this case, it's in the shape of a square or rectangle, so that would be the base. Remember that edges cut. Okay, so edges are the straight sides, so let's count how many edges there are. And I'll put the edges in blue. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have 8 straight edges. Okay. And then vertices poke, and vertices are created when 2 edges come together. So let's count up how many vertices there are, and I'm going to use purple for that one. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 vertices, and I got a special vertex at the top called an apex. Okay, so pyramids and cones have apexes, but it's a special type of vertex, so it does count as a vertex. So there are a grand total of 5 vertices, okay, on this pyramid. All right, that's it. Let's go ahead and get out a piece of paper and pencil, and let's go ahead and get ready to do our assignment.